Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep, really deep, into one of the last true frontiers on our own planet, the vast, dark, and totally mysterious world that lies beneath the waves. Okay, get this. It's a pretty wild fact when you stop and think about it. We have created these incredible maps of the universe that stretch for 93 billion light years. We can see distant galaxies. And yet, right here on our home turf, a mind-boggling 95% of our own oceans is still a total mystery. Unmapped, unexplored, unseen.
So that just begs the question, right? Why do we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own seabed? What is it about the deep ocean that makes it so incredibly hard and dangerous to explore? To find out what's really down there, let's go on a journey together. We're going to descend from the sunny surface all the way down to the deepest known point on Earth, and we're going to do it layer by crushing layer.
So we start in the shallows, 40 meters. That's about as deep as a recreational diver is allowed to go. But of course, some people have pushed that limit way past the limit. Herbert Nitsch made it to an insane 214 meters on a single breath of air. And Ahmed Gabra set the all-time scuba record at 332 meters, where the pressure is just immense.
And as we keep going down, it's just wild how fast our world vanishes. At 443 meters, you could drop the entire Empire State Building in and it would disappear completely. A little deeper, at 500 meters, and even the biggest animal on the planet, the blue whale, has to turn back. And by 830 meters, the very tip of the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, would be swallowed by the dark.
Okay, now we're at 1,000 meters, and this is where things get really different. We've just crossed into a world of total, permanent night. They call it the midnight zone. There's zero sunlight here, and this pitch-black world is home to some legendary creatures, like the super elusive giant squid.
And in this darkness, life finds a way. It gets weird. Down at 2,000 meters, you could run into something like the black dragonfish. This thing literally produces its own light. It's called bioluminescence, and it uses that light to hunt in the crushing black. It's a real-life alien.
And speaking of epic, right around here, at 2,250 meters, this is the battleground for one of nature's greatest rivalries. You've got the sperm whale, this incredible deep-diving hunter, facing off against its mortal enemy, the colossal squid, a creature with eyes the size of dinner plates and actual hooks on its tentacles.
But we're not stopping there. We're going to keep plunging deeper into the abyss. And now, we've hit a staggering 3,800 meters.
And this depth, this cold, dark, high-pressure place, this is where the RMS Titanic came to rest. It's been sitting here in total silence for more than 100 years. Just a ghost in the deep. All right, now we're going even deeper. 6,000 meters. Welcome to the Hattel Zone. And yeah, it's named after Hades, the underworld, for a reason. The pressure here it's almost impossible to imagine. It's like having a whole jumbo jet sitting on top of you. Only very, very special subs can even survive down here. You know, to really get your head around how deep this is, think about this. If you could somehow take Mount Everest and place it at the bottom here, its peak, the highest point on land, would still be more than a kilometer underwater. So back in 1960, the submersible Trieste, it was the very first manned mission to go this deep. And what happened down there is just incredible. The two guys in the crew said they saw a big, flat, fish-like thing moving around in their lights, something scientists thought couldn't possibly live down there. Their mission got cut short when a window actually cracked under the pressure and they had to race back to the surface to survive. So after dropping past every landmark we know, past every known animal limit, even past the tallest mountain on Earth, we finally made it. We're at the bottom. We're talking about 11,000 meters down. That's almost 7 miles straight down into the Earth. This is it. This is the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. It doesn't get any deeper than this on planet Earth. This is the most remote, most inaccessible spot in our world.
You'd think reaching the bottom would give us all the answers, right? Well, nope. It just made things even weirder. On one unmanned mission, a research vehicle was supposedly grabbed by some massive, powerful force. When they hauled it up, it had these huge marks on it. Marks that some researchers said looked disturbingly like the bite of a Megalodon. You know, the giant prehistoric shark that's supposed to be extinct.
Okay, so we've hit the seafloor, the absolute bottom of the water. But remember the question we started with? It wasn't just how deep is the water, it was what is below the ocean.
And no, sorry to disappoint, it's not some lost city of Atlantis or chests of gold. The real answer is, well, it's actually just as surprising in its own way.
To get this, you gotta think like a geologist for a second. The seabed isn't the end of the Earth. It's just the top layer of our planet's crust. And yeah, it's packed with resources like oil and gas, which formed from ancient sea life. But they also found something else.
But here's the kicker, and this is just amazing. Scientists have found actual rivers down there. Not just little streams. I'm talking massive rivers flowing along the ocean floor. There's one under the Black Sea that's so huge, it would be the 6th largest river on the planet if it were on land. It even has its own riverbanks and floodplains.
And that discovery, this idea of entire rivers flowing in the deep, it just brings us full circle, right back to where we started. That massive, overwhelming majority of the ocean that we know nothing about.
So think about it. After this whole journey to the deepest, darkest place on the planet, you have to remember, all of this stuff we've talked about, the Titanic, the giant squid, the Challenger Deep itself, it's all happening in the tiny 5% of the ocean that we've actually seen. 95% is still a blank space on the map.
I mean, that just tells you how much is left to find, right? The potential for discovery is absolutely immense. We're constantly finding new species down there, incredible new sources of energy and minerals, and who knows, maybe even clues to our own lost history. So it really just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If we found all this, underwater rivers, creatures that make their own light, maybe even hints of ancient monsters, in just that tiny little slice we've explored, what in the world is hiding in all that darkness we haven't seen yet?